found quite a few disposable devices recently, and a few of them that are all of the same make have had these similar batteries in. So these particular ones, it says they're 550 amp hours and 3.7 volts. So let's see if this has got any voltage in it to start with. That on there and that on there. Well, it's got a bit. Actually, it's got 4.1 volts. This has been thrown away and it's got 4.1 volts. That's nuts. So how can I use these? Well, I think I'm going to start by soldering some decent wires onto them. So let's just check whether these come off okay. Okay, slightly unpleasant smell when I melt the solder on that. So let's put some bigger leads on there. I think I've shown you this before. It's some silicon coated wire that I quite like. Right, I'll leave some long leads on this for the moment, but I'll just check whether it's still getting a voltage from it. Check nothing's gone wrong. Yeah, 4. It's gone down a little bit. It must have been the excitement of having wires attached to it. Alright, so I've got those, and I've got a couple more which I've put some wires on as well. And I've used one of these little lipo chargers on each of them to bring them up to about 4 volts. This one was charged when it came out of the device. So if I've got 3 of these and they're about 4 volts, what's 4 by 3? Well, it's 12 volts, isn't it? So can I turn this into a 12 volt power supply? Well, for ages I've wanted to do this with some 18650s. And one of the things I wanted to try was using one of these 3S 40 amp BMSs. They're quite cheap really, but these have got the different voltages on all the way up to 12 volts. So 0 volt, let's show you a better way. 0 volt there, 4.2 volt, 12.6 volt there, 8.4 volt. So each of those is one of the cells, and then the voltage comes out of that. So theoretically, if I attach these to one of these, I should get 12 volts out, just as an experiment. Oh, actually, I will just wrap this with Kapton tape first so I don't get any unexpected shorts. I did that with all the other ones, as you can see. So let's just make that safe, or indeed safer. So let's get our board, put a bit of solder on each of the blobs where I'm going to connect it, just to make it a bit easier. Obviously, if it's 40 amp, I mean, they're either lying or it can drive 40 amp, and there's a lot of copper on the back there, but whether this is capable really of driving 40 amps, I don't know. 12.6 volts it should generate, but we'll see. So this is going to be a bit weird because I think this is going to involve connecting some things together in a way that looks a bit strange. But let's start with 0 volt. So this is the 0 volt one, so that's easy. I'll attach the 0 volt to there. There we go. And therefore the 4.2 volt needs to go to the next one. This is where it gets a bit strange really, because the red of that battery has to attach to the black of the other one, which is okay, but it feels a little scary. Then where have we got to go next? So we've got to go over to there. So have I got enough on this one to do that? Well, let's just check whether I've got a voltage out of this while I'm here. Yeah, so I've got 4 volts coming out of that one, which is good. So the next bit should be 8 volts. So let's connect to there. Hopefully I can solder one without unsoldering the other. That seems to be alright. That looks so wrong. Right, so 8.4 volts are there. So if I measured this now, before I solder it on, I should be getting 8 volts approximately there. Yeah, lovely. So that's right. So let's connect that to there. And then that leaves my last one, which I will cut down a little bit to size. So it's got to go from there to there. I'll give it a decent amount of wire though. So this bit here, there we go. And that's got to attach to this 12.8 here. Hopefully you can still see that. Let's do that. Across the cells, which together are the battery, I should be getting 12 volts, yeah, 12.1. So each of these is giving about 4. But now the BMS should have kicked in. So am I getting a voltage across here? Yes, I'm getting 12.1 across here. So I should be able to put a charge of 12 volts into that, and it should charge these a bit more and get it a bit higher. But I am getting 12 volts out of that. So I've got another thing here. Let's just check it with this. I've got this little battery voltage thingy with a bit of goo on it. Yeah, this battery voltage thingy from eBay. And I can just put a thing directly into it that way. So let's just see what voltage that says we're getting out of this. This battery pack's live now. And I mean, I imagine these devices that these batteries are used in I think they heat up some wire as a heater. So it must take a lot of amperage out of these batteries. So they must be able to be capable of delivering quite a bit, but we'll see. That's showing 66% charge. So I don't really, I mean, not really sure what this is. So it's 12.2 volts is 66. Whether I can set this, oh, it looks like there's a setting thing there. I might be able to tell it how many cells are supposed to be in here and what the voltage is, but that looks like I've got myself a little power pack to experiment with that will give me 12 volts, and it's purely out of these disposable devices. So I hope you enjoyed that little experiment. We'll see where I take it maybe in the next video. If you enjoyed this and want to see the next one, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, bye. Oh, did you spot the deliberate mistake there? Okay, let's go back to there. That could have been unnecessarily exciting.